Hey guys, so there's a problem in Dokkan that has been, a growing concern for, I want to say 1 to 2 years, somewhere in between there. Uh, and we've seen this problem sort of come to fruition, like finally realized, um, with the release of the Majin Vegeta banner, Goku banner on JP, and then also on the global version as well with the release of the Trunks and Zamasu banners. And the problem I'm talking about is if we actually open up these banners, there's actually 8 featured units here. A lot of you guys might be thinking that's good because it gives you, a higher chance to pull something like good from the banner because, yeah, all these featured units are good. Same thing with the global side too. Like they just threw in. So these banners are exactly the same as the ones on JP, but they just threw in Metal Cooler on Zamasu's banner, and then they threw in Kid Goku on the Trunks banner. Both amazing units, so I think for most people that's actually a pretty good change, but having more Dokkan Festival exclusive units on banners, like featured, and like having more featured units than 7, it dilutes the pool so that you have a lower chance of pulling the actual new unit, which I assume is what most people are trying to get anyway. So basically the problem is that there's just too many Dokkan Fest exclusive units in the game right now to where they're able to actually come back and return on banners in like a timely manner. So if we actually take a look at like the Dokkan Fests that are on that have been on the JP side, so we have so this guy was the most recent Dokkan Fest, right? Besides the dual one that's going on right now. So Android 13, let's go take a look at what its featured units are. We have 2 new units. So they've been doing this thing where they have, the main Dokkan Fest exclusive unit is the new one, and then they have like one other new, just regular banner unit come out. So that leaves generally 5 other slots on the banner for returning Dokkan Fest exclusive units, because generally what they've been doing recently is they haven't really had non-Dokkan Fest exclusive units on Dokkan Fest banners recently. Which is expected because there's just, like I said, there's just so many that they, that they need to have return. So category leader, category leader, category leader, category leader, category leader. So basically everything on this banner is category leader. Over to Cooler's banner, we have 2 new units. Category leader, category leader, category leader, category leader, not category leader. So only one unit on here is not a category leader. Go to Teacher Gohan, 2 new units. Category leader, category leader, category leader, category leader, category leader. Okay. And then even these banners. So with the Dokkan Fest LR banners, they usually put 10 featured, which is, it's not nearly as good as 7, but I guess they just want these Dokkan Fest LRs to have a lower pull rate because they're like the best units in the game. So 2 new units, category leader, not a category leader, but I would still put him in the same pool because he released during the category leader meta. Category leader, not category leader, not category leader, category leader, not category leader. So on these banners, we have 10 featured units. They have, 3.5, I guess, units that are not category leaders. So interesting. Same thing with Cell. I mean, Cell's banner's doing the same thing, right? 2 new units, category, not semi-category, not category, not category, not category, not category. So this one has a lot of not categories actually. So that's interesting. And then Piccolo's banner. Did you take a look at this already? No. 2 new units, category, category, not category. So only 1. And if we go ahead and take a look at like the list of all the Dokkan Fest exclusives in the game, there's currently 75 total Dokkan Fest exclusive units in the game. I'm gonna actually go ahead and show them to you. So we have 1 not category, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I guess we'll count him, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, we'll count him, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So we have 38 units that are not category leaders. So pretty much exactly half of the game is category leaders and half of the game is not category leaders. And if you've been looking at the banners like what I just showed you, basically every unit returning on these Dokkan Fest banners are all category leaders. So that leaves the question, like, when are these non-category leading Dokkan Fest exclusive cards returning on banners? And the answer is they really aren't. So now we get to the interesting point of the video, because we go to these banners, right, the new ones. These also have 8 featured units, but we go ahead and take a look. They have not category leader, not category leader, not category leader. So even though they only have 8 featured units, they have 3 non-category leaders on here. And then the same thing with Goku's banner as well. I mean, we have, 1, 2, 3, and then you can even throw this guy in there too, right? So this is really the first time, I think, in a while we've seen Dokkan Fest exclusive banners that have, a good portion of their featured units not being category leaders. And I think that's just a product of, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there just not being enough time to throw these non-category leading Dokkan Fest exclusive units on banners that are featured. And the way they've been doing that up to this point is they've actually been throwing a lot of them on these Extreme Z Awakening banners, but nobody summons on them. And but this is where you're actually this is where they're throwing them. They're throwing those units onto. So yeah, the Omega Shenron banner, not category, not category, not category. Same thing with this one, not category, not category, not category. We can even keep going down. I don't even remember what the one before this one was. Just keep going down here. But those are the banners that they throw these non-category leaders on. Even the Cell one, none of these are category leaders. None of these are category leaders. But nobody summons on those banners. Same here, look. So I don't really think that's a long-term solution to this issue. I think there's a few solutions you can come up with for this. One of them is just, you have all the old Dokkan, by old I mean non-category leaders, right? You have all the non-category leader Dokkan Fest exclusive units thrown onto the coin shop. So, whenever you summon on a banner like this, you would just make every single featured unit a category leader, and then with your red coins, you can go ahead and spend those on the coin shop to pull the unit you want. Some people might not like that because they want to have the chance at pulling these older units, because a lot of people probably don't have them if you started recently. So something else they could do, they could have a separate, banner up. I think, so the way Legends does this is for all the older units that have been in the game that aren't really featured anymore, they have something what's called a Masters Pack banner that basically is up forever, and you can accumulate tickets for that banner through PvP, just playing the game, doing missions, stuff like that. So I feel like that could actually be a pretty successful model here for Dokkan. You just throw I don't know, 20 Dokkan Fest exclusives onto one, I don't know what they would call it, maybe Dokkan Collection or something. So you have maybe one Dokkan Collection banner where you have 20 old Dokkan Fest exclusive units on one banner, and then you have Dokkan Collection 2. You have the other 40 on there, and then you have different tickets to summon on both of those banners. And that's a way that they could, make those units more accessible. While they could also, and at the same time of doing that, they could also still be doing the Extreme Z Awakening banners. People really want to summon on that. I assume nobody summons on these, because I've never heard of anybody summoning on them. Why would you summon on this banner when you could just summon on a banner like this? Even though this banner's not that good, it's still better than the Extreme Z Awakening banner, or obviously the dual Dokkan Fest banners are way better than that. Even this banner's better. But I feel like those are solutions, pretty obvious. But there's also a different one that I've been thinking of, and what it involves is just putting more featured units on these banners. So like this, basically, they on both versions, Global NJP, they've started putting 8 featured units on the dual Dokkan Fest banners, which I'm not a fan of, because I have all the other ones rainbow except for the new one, so it hurts me more than anybody else. But what they could do is they could start putting 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 featured units on these banners, like regular Dokkan Fest banners, but then they could just raise the featured rate of the banners, whether or not they're gonna keep the overall rate the same. So maybe they have a 10% total rate for SSRs, but they have 10 featured units, but then they'd increase the split between featured and unfeatured to 8% featured SSR rates compared to 2% unfeatured SSR rates. So what that would do is it wouldn't really change the percentage you have to pull of a specific featured unit. So to pull Majin Vegeta, you have a 1 out of 8 chance on this banner so basically it's 5% divided by 8 to pull this guy. So they could keep that same percentage by increasing the amount of featured units on here, but then also increasing the rate at which you can pull featured units, right? That wouldn't change the amount of featured units you're going to pull of a specific unit, but it would change the overall amount of featured units you're going to pull overall. So I feel like they could do that. Something else they could do is they could also just, you know, flat, like straight up increase the total rate that you have the chance to pull SSR. So maybe go from 10% to 12%. So maybe you'd have, I don't know, 11 featured units on this banner, but instead of a 10% rate, you have a 12% rate. So I feel like that could be a good trade-off, as long as they keep like the ratio the same. Because the thing that hurts people here is you normally would have had 7 featured units. So you have like a 5 divided by 7 chance, a 5% divided by 7 chance to pull this Majin Vegeta. Now you have a 5% divided by 8 chance to pull this Majin Vegeta, so the chances are lower because it's more diluted. So I don't know. I just feel like as the game continues to grow and they release more characters, more units, this is something that's going to come into play even more down the road, because, you know, having more Dokkan... I mean, how many Dokkan Fest exclusive units did they release in a period of a year? Like 7, 8, 9? So every year we're getting more and more of these, maybe even more than that. I think, like, because we have dual Dokkan Fest, right? Maybe like 10 or 11 a year, maybe more even. So every year this is becoming a bigger issue. And they're going to have to think of a solution soon. I mean, we are, like I said, we are already starting to see the repercussions of like this issue because of the fact that we're seeing 8 here. Where were we? And we're seeing, you know, 8 here, which never used to be the case. Like even even when this banner was on JP, this had 7. On Global, this had 8. And like I said in the beginning, this is something that would not affect most people negatively, but for people who already have like these units rainbowed, like it hurts them because you're only looking for like this guy, and the pool is more diluted, so it's going to be more difficult for you to pull them. But let me know what you guys think about this issue. I think it's something that they're going to have to address sooner rather than later, because it is a pressing issue. I don't know if they're going to have to start, you know, adding separate banners with these units featured on them or something. I don't know. I think the Legends solution is probably the best way to do it, but they also could go down the path of just, you know, increasing the rate overall and putting more units on banners, which is, I don't know if they would do that, because I don't know if they want to increase the rates for everybody. So that's just my those are just my thoughts on this. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.